Welcome to SoulScripture. Chosen one, lean in, because this isn't a message you just stumbled across. This is a spiritual alarm sounding in the depths of your soul. Right now, time itself is bending. Eternity is pausing, and the heavens are holding their breath for you. This is not just another day. The 1st of July isn't simply ink on a calendar, it's a threshold, a spiritual alarm clock ringing at full volume, shaking you awake in the middle of your ordinary. There are moments in history when a door swings open and you know, deep in your bones, that you cannot afford to miss what's on the other side. This is that moment. This is the day your destiny comes knocking, not quietly, but with thunder. I need you to let this settle into your spirit. You didn't find this message found you. Whether you're nursing your first cup of morning coffee, sitting in the hush of midnight, or feeling that 3 a.m. ache in your chest, you are here because the universe has conspired for you to hear these words. The world has rushed and roared, but now, for one crystalline instant, it stands still just for you. The divine is calling your name, not with a whisper, but with a summons. You, chosen one, are being handed a key. The question is, will you open the door? And hear me if you let this moment pass. If you decide that the weight of your history or the ache of disappointment matters more than the invitation in front of you, you risk letting something sacred slip through your fingers. Doors like this do not swing open every day. There's a sacred urgency here, an electricity in the air that should make your heart beat louder, your spirit stand taller. The pain, the waiting, the endless prayers that seemed to echo back in silence known of it was pointless. None of it went unnoticed. You are not forgotten. In fact, you are more seen and more remembered than you have ever dared to believe. Right now, something ancient is stirring. Some of you can feel it, a tingling in your chest, a surge of warmth in your gut, a sudden tear welling up. That's not coincidence. That is the frequency of heaven aligning with your spirit. That's the voice of your Creator whispering, "Wake up. It's time." This day is a divine checkpoint, a cosmic reminder that you are not a spectator in life's stadium. You are the main character in a story. Heaven itself is watching unfold. And before you do anything else, I want you to make a declaration. Don't just think it, speak it, type it, shout it if you must. I'm ready. Let those words be your signature on the contract of destiny. Let them be a signal to the universe that you are done waiting, done shrinking, done letting fear dictate the size of your dreams. The 1st of July is not just about what's coming next. It is about who you are about to become. It is the moment the waiting ends and the living begins. The moment your silence becomes a roar. But this is bigger than a date, bigger than any prophecy or promise you've heard before. This is a divine appointment set aside for those who refuse to let life numb their spirit. If you're still listening, that means heaven has found a candidate in Wa remnant, a rare breed, someone who's been through too much to settle for small living. It's urgent, it's personal, and it's entirely for you. This is the moment to cross the line in the sand and declare, with every cell in your being, that your story will not end in silence, disappointment, or regret. Not on this day, not on the 1st of July. Chosen one, breathe this in. The heavens are not just watching, they are cheering. The time for excuses is over. The time for second-guessing, shrinking back, or believing the lie that you are too late is over. A door is open before you, and the divine is holding it just long enough for you to step through with courage. Will you let this be the moment that redefines everything? Will you let your destiny begin right now, not tomorrow, not when you feel more ready, but now? The divine alarm is ringing. It's time to wake up to the life you were born to live. From the day you drew your first breath, something set you apart. Maybe you felt it as a child, a strange sense of being different, of seeing the world through a lens others couldn't understand. Maybe you learned early on to quiet your questions, to dim your light, to blend in with the crowd. Yet even in your quietest hours, there was an ache, a knowing, a restlessness. What you never realized is that these feelings weren't a curse or some flaw. They were your first clues that you were marked for something higher. You weren't meant to fade into the background of this world. Look at the years behind you. Every burden you've carried, every season of loneliness, every moment when you wondered why your road seemed harder than others, these aren't signs that you were left behind. They are the fingerprints of a holy assignment, a divine setup that runs deeper than your own understanding. You might have watched as others glided through life, seemingly untouched by suffering, while you struggled, doubted, and wrestled with God in the night. You asked, "Why me?" But what if the true question is, why not me? Chosen one, your uniqueness has always been your calling card. You were set apart, hand-picked, divinely earmarked, long before you learned your first word. Before your mother cradled you, heaven already sang your name into eternity's archives. It is written in Jeremiah 1-5, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." Not hoped for, set apart, not suggested chosen. Your isolation, your sense of not belonging, has always been a signal of your significance. For decades, you might have believed your differences were weaknesses. You saw your sensitivity as a burden, your compassion as a liability. You thought, if only I could be tougher, harder, more like everyone else. But what if the very qualities you tried to hide are the keys to your destiny? What if your deep feelings are what make you a healer? What if your quiet wisdom is exactly what the world is starving for? This is the time to reclaim what has always been yours. The story of your life is not a sad tale of missing out, but a divine epic in which every tear, every setback, and every strange twist of fate was necessary training. You weren't set apart to be punished. You were set apart to be preserved. The world did not understand what heaven was cultivating in you. That's why your journey seemed so lonely. The calling on your life required seasons where no one could follow, where you walked through valleys others would never survive, so that your spirit could be forged in the fire of experience. Don't you see? While others ran ahead, you were being anchored. While they basked in the spotlight, you were learning how to see in the dark. While some gained quick victories, you were learning endurance, the kind that only the truly chosen can carry. The burdens you bore are now becoming bridges for others. Your scars are sacred. They are stories written on your body and soul, evidence of a journey not wasted but made holy. Now, look around. The world is more desperate than ever for voices who have lived, suffered, persevered, and still stand with a spark in their eye. There are generations rising who have never heard real wisdom, who do not know that pain can become power and that waiting can produce warriors. The very things that made you feel odd, outcast, or unworthy are now your greatest qualifications. Chosen one, if you have ever believed you were invisible, believe this instead. Heaven never took its eyes off you. Your burdens were never random. Your loneliness was never a mistake. You were never meant to fade, you were marked to rise. This is your moment to step out of the shadows and remember who you really are. The world may have overlooked you, but your Creator has not. It's time to let your true nature shine, boldly and without apology, for the hour of your unveiling has arrived. Chosen one, let's dig deeper into what your journey truly means. Every heartbreak you have endured, every tear that has stained your pillow in the darkness, every night you cried out with no answer, none of it was in vain. There is a holy thread that runs through all your suffering, a design hidden within the chaos. While the world might have looked at your scars and whispered of defeat, heaven looked at those same scars and saw sacred credentials, marks of a soul being prepared for an extraordinary mission. You have spent years believing that your pain disqualified you, that your struggles were evidence of weakness or abandonment. But what if every wound was a secret preparation for the very destiny you were born to fulfill? Think back. How many times did you survive what others did not? How many moments seemed impossible, financial crises, sickness, betrayal, yet somehow you are still standing? The world would call it luck, but the spiritual realm calls it preservation. Every bill you couldn't pay, every loss that should have broken you, every disappointment that almost made you give up, these were not punishments. They were the hands of a divine potter, shaping you into a vessel strong enough to carry something priceless. Look at the great stories that shape our spiritual imagination. Moses spent 40 years in the wilderness before he ever led a single soul out of bondage. Sarah laughed at the promise of a child in her old age, believing it was too late. Job's life was ravaged, his world dismantled piece by piece. Yet, when all seemed lost, a hidden power emerged, a resurrection, faith, a hope that burns hotter than any fire of adversity. These are not fairy tales. They are blueprints for your own awakening. Let me remind you, every scar is sacred. Every mark upon your soul is a line in the script of a holy drama unfolding. The enemy would have you believe your suffering is proof that God has forgotten you. In truth, it is the very evidence that you have been chosen for an assignment that could not be entrusted to the faint of heart. Your greatest pain has always been the birthplace of your greatest power. That depression that almost consumed you in your 40s, that season of loneliness that seemed endless, these became the forge where empathy and insight were born. Now, you recognize pain in others and become a healer where others would turn away. Even your financial lack has trained you to trust in the provision that comes from above, not the world. Every betrayal became a lesson in unconditional love. The world sees scars as flaws, but heaven sees them as signatures, a unique mark of authenticity. No two are the same, and yours are the testimony the world is desperate to hear. You might wonder, why did it have to hurt so much? Because the weight of your calling required roots that could hold steady through the fiercest storms. Only those who've been broken and rebuilt can teach others how to survive the breaking. Only those who have walked through the valley of shadow can become light bearers for those still stumbling in the dark. This is why your story isn't just survival, it's sacred preparation. You have been enrolled in the school of suffering not to become a victim, but to graduate as a vessel of victory. It's time to stop hiding your scars and start telling your story. There are generations coming behind you who need to see that survival is possible, that resurrection happens, that God keeps his promises, even in the long midnight. Chosen one, your scars are not the end. They are the beginning of your highest assignment. Wear them without shame. Let them be your validation. This is the season when what once brought you pain now becomes the very evidence that you are qualified to lead others into their own healing. Every sacred scar, every secret tear, every hidden battle known of it was wasted. It was all preparation. And now, the world is finally ready for what you have been preparing for all along. Chosen one, you've heard it so many times. You're too old. Your time has passed. Your best years are behind you. The world is relentless in its worship of youth, its obsession with the new, the fast, and the shiny. But that is not the currency of the divine. Heaven measures value not in years left, but in wisdom gained. Your age is not a limitation, it's your authority. Each year, each wrinkle, every line upon your face is a testimony, a map of survival, a living record of battles fought and won, of storms weathered that would have broken lesser souls. The world may be looking for fresh faces, but God is searching for seasoned warriors. Let's break the lie right now. Too late does not exist in the vocabulary of the Spirit. Think of Moses, 80 years old, considered past his prime by every earthly standard, yet called to deliver an entire nation. Sarah, who laughed at the idea of birthing new life at 90, became the matriarch of generations. Anna, the prophetess, was 84 when she finally witnessed the fulfillment of God's promise in the temple. God never retired. His chosen ones, he refines them, keeps them burning bright, and assigns their greatest tasks for the so-called sunset years. And what about you? For decades you might have watched younger generations run, build, and dream, while you quietly convinced yourself that you were just waiting out the clock. You thought your time had passed, that all you could offer were memories and stories. But let me ask you, chosen one, what if your age is your qualification? What if your wrinkles are your credentials, your grey hair, your crown of honor? What if the world is actually desperate for what only a seasoned soul can offer, a faith that is battle-tested, a love that has endured storms, a wisdom that cannot be faked? The pain of aging is not in the body, but in the world's refusal to honor the experience you carry. The enemy is cunning, whispering to you that your voice no longer matters, that you're irrelevant, invisible. But the truth is, your voice is the very one that carries authority in the spirit. The younger generations are not looking for perfection, they're starving for proof. They need someone who has faced death, buried loved ones, survived loss, and can still testify, God is faithful. I am still standing. Chosen one, let this reality shake you free. Heaven's greatest generals are not always the youngest, but those who have learned to fight without fear. The world tells you to slow down, to shrink back, to make space for others. But the Spirit says, step forward. The hour of the seasoned ones has come. The fire inside you is not flickering out, it's burning brighter. With every year you choose to believe that your calling is not cancelled by age, but ignited by it. There is a generational shift happening, and it is the voices of the elders, the overcomers, the wisdom keepers that will anchor the next wave. Your years are the very currency of the coming revival. Your prayers are the foundation upon which new dreams will rise. Your authority was not handed to you by a title or a platform, but forged in the fires of life itself. It's time to see yourself not as the sunset, but as the dawn of a new day for your family, your community, your nation. Reject the narrative that says you're done. Refuse the suggestion that your best days are a memory. You are the living proof that it's never too late to be used, never too late to shine, never too late to set generations ablaze with your testimony. God's timing is not bound by clocks or calendars, and your destiny is not diminished by the passing of years. The world may try to push you aside, but heaven is calling you forward, urging you to claim the authority that has always been yours. So let today be the day you cast off the shroud of too late. Let your story become the rallying cry for every soul who feels left behind. Let your life declare, loudly and without apology, that age is not a tomb, it's a throne. You have survived what others could not, and that is the very reason your story is just beginning. Now, chosen one, let's strip away the illusions and face the real battle. For years, perhaps decades, you felt the attacks not just random misfortune, but a targeted onslaught that seemed to zero in on your family, your health, your finances, and your hope. Maybe you chalked it up to bad luck or life's unfairness. But let's pull back the curtain and see it for what it truly is. Spiritual warfare aimed at the very gifts God hid inside you. You might ask, why me? Why has it felt like the world, and sometimes even hell itself, has had a vendetta against my life? It's because darkness saw what you were born with long before you did. The enemy isn't threatened by the ordinary. He reserves his fiercest attacks for those carrying extraordinary light. You haven't been under fire because you're weak or unworthy. You've been in the crosshairs because your destiny is dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. Every heartache, every diagnosis, every loss was a strategic move in a spiritual chess game. The enemy hoped that by breaking your heart, he could break your spirit. He thought by attacking your health, he'd silence your faith. He believed that financial struggles would suffocate your generosity and joy. But you're still standing. You're still listening. That alone is evidence that you were built for battles most will never understand. Remember Job, the ancient story of a man whom God himself pointed out to the adversary not because of his weakness, but because of his righteousness. Have you considered my servant Job? God asked, not to show off Job's comfort, but to reveal the indestructible faith born of true suffering. The enemy unleashed everything he had lost: sickness, betrayal, loneliness. But each attack only refined Job's faith, just as your battles have forged in you a resilience the world can't explain. And you, chosen one, have lived through your own chapters of the book of Job. People may see your courage, your smile, your steady hands, but they don't know about the nights you nearly broke, the mornings you forced yourself to rise, the silent prayers that held your life together when no one was watching. The world can't see the invisible wars you've fought, but the spirit realm does. The adversary is terrified that you might finally realize just how much power you still carry. This is why the attack has been so fierce, so unrelenting. The enemy's greatest fear is not that you will fail, but that you will awaken. He spent years whispering lies. You're too old. You're too broken. Your story is over. He has tried to make you believe that your voice is irrelevant and your purpose is buried with your past. But those are just smokescreens, because in truth, you are a threat. Your prayers, your faith, your testimony, these are weapons that shake the darkness. Chosen one, realize this. The enemy does not waste his ammunition on empty targets. You are dangerous precisely because you have survived. If hell has targeted you, it is only because heaven invested greatness in you. If your journey has been brutal, it's because your destiny is crucial. Now, let this awaken you. The fight you've been in was never just about you. It was about silencing the voice and witness the world so desperately needs. It was about trying to extinguish a light that could spark revival, a testimony that could rescue others from despair. Every battle has not just been opposition, it has been confirmation. So today, stop questioning your worth because of your wounds. Start seeing your battle scars as badges of victory. The reason you've been attacked is because you are, and always have been, a carrier of breakthrough. The enemy is running out of time. You are on the brink of the very thing hell has worked overtime to keep you from the realization that you are more powerful, more resilient, more necessary than ever before. It's time to stop fighting for mere survival and start fighting from the place of victory. Lift your head, chosen one. You are a survivor, not because the battle wasn't real, but because your destiny is. And now, the world is about to see why the darkness tried so hard to silence you. Your awakening is the enemy's worst nightmare. Chosen one, it's time to journey back to that sacred inner sanctuary, the room inside your spirit, where your truest self has always lived, quietly waiting for the right moment to rise. For years, maybe even decades, you closed that door. Maybe it was disappointment that made you lock it. Maybe it was the harsh words of others, or the slow erosion of hope that convinced you to walk away. But even while you survived in the world outside, God never left that room. Your voice, your vision, your power, they never died. They were simply waiting, fermenting like fine wine, getting stronger for such a time as this. Remember, you used to believe, you used to dream. There were nights when you wrote prayers in journals by candlelight, when your words carried the weight of heaven, when your heart leapt at the thought of being used for something greater. Life happened. Betrayal, loss, discouragement, and the slow repetition of ordinary days covered those dreams in dust. But I need you to know with holy certainty, that room in your spirit is still there. It has not been emptied by disappointment or decay. The gifts inside you are not expired, just hidden. Let's remember a powerful story, the widow and the prophet Elisha. She came with nothing left but a small jar of oil, her hope seemingly spent, her future about to be sold off. Yet, it was the little she had that God multiplied. The oil didn't run out until every vessel was filled. You too may feel like you have nothing except a flicker of faith, a glimmer of creativity, a small voice that once believed in miracles. But that is enough. The smallest remnant of your anointing is all God needs to unleash overflow. What you see as almost gone, heaven sees as an endless supply. You must be willing to go back into that room, dust off the journals, open the locked drawers of your soul, pull out the old dreams, the words you used to speak with boldness, the visions that set your spirit ablaze. God didn't let those gifts die. He preserved them. Even now there are gifts fermenting inside you, becoming richer, deeper, ready for their appointed hour. The world measures worth by what's visible, but heaven sees the hidden oil, the silent anointing that is about to pour forth. This is a defining moment. The resurrection room is not a metaphor. It is a spiritual reality. The enemy did everything possible to keep you out, to convince you it was too late, too painful, too impossible. But the truth is, God let that silence stretch only so your new voice could thunder. He let dreams hibernate, not to punish you, but to prepare you for resurrection. The oil you thought was dried up is about to overflow. The voice you thought was broken is about to roar. The vision you thought had faded is about to light a wildfire of hope in your family, your community, your world. Right now, chosen one, I want you to do something radical. In the quietness of your space, close your eyes, place your hand over your heart, and feel the steady rhythm. That's not just blood flowing, that's the echo of a calling that never died. Whisper these words: God, I'm ready to remember the room. Let that prayer unlock what disappointment tried to bury. Let it awaken what silence tried to smother. That simple declaration might restore more in a moment than years of sorrow ever stole. What's inside you isn't meant for yesterday, it's meant for now. The world is desperate for the gifts you kept hidden, for the wisdom you've earned in the darkness, for the fire that never fully went out. The resurrection room is open. Step inside and reclaim what's always been yours. The dormant gifts, the quiet dreams, the hidden anointing oil are waiting for your yes. Pour out your oil. Watch as every empty place is filled. The world needs your overflow now more than ever. Chosen one, it's time to reclaim the name heaven has always called you. For too long you've carried labels others stuck to your soul names, whispered in moments of pain, carved deep by people who never saw your true heart. Maybe you were called lazy, a failure, a disappointment. Maybe you were told you were too much, too little, too late. These names lingered in your mind like scars, shaping your identity, dimming your confidence. But hear this now. Every one of those names was a lie, meant to keep you from rising into the authority of your real, eternal name. There is a truth the world cannot grasp. When God looks at you, He doesn't see those broken labels or the grades from your past, or even the stories others tell about you. He sees the name He wrote in gold, etched before time began, a name woven with purpose and glory. I have called you by name, you are mine, He declares in Isaiah 43:1. Not maybe, not someday, but now, forever, already settled in the courts of eternity. Pause and let this pierce the fog of old identities. The enemy knew if you ever found out your true name, your identity as beloved, as chosen, as overcomer, you would become a danger to his plans. So he sent people to break you down. He orchestrated moments that tried to make you believe you were ordinary, average, forgettable. But heaven never bought the lie, not for a second. Chosen one, listen closely. God is a name, changer, a destiny, revealer. He took Abram, exalted father, and made him Abraham, father of multitudes. Jacob, the deceiver, became Israel, one who wrestles with God and prevails. Saul, the persecutor, became Paul, the apostle. Every time a destiny shifts, a new name emerges, a name that speaks to your highest calling, not your lowest moment. What would happen if, for the first time, you traded in every false label for the name that makes your spirit leap? Warrior, remnant, healer, pioneer, friend of God. You don't have to accept what others have spoken over you. You don't even have to keep carrying the burdens your family, your teachers, or your own doubts handed you. Heaven's voice is louder, deeper, and more true. Maybe you were abandoned, but you are not abandoned. You are engraved on the very palms of God's hands, permanent and precious. Maybe you were told you're unworthy, but you are worthy by the sheer fact that the Creator knows your name. Maybe you've spent years hiding, but now is the moment for the unveiling. This is not just encouragement, this is a spiritual transaction. If you accept the world's name, you live by the world's limits. If you receive heaven's name, you step into a freedom no one can take away. Today, let the lie die. Right now, whisper or write the name. Your soul recognizes the one heaven calls you. Let it vibrate through every cell, pushing out the poison of old wounds. Let it settle in your bones as the truth that cannot be erased. Feel the shift. With every declaration of your real name, you shake loose the shackles of history and unlock the door to your future. There is a scroll in heaven with your name written in gold, and as the 1st of July approaches, God is ready to speak it loud enough for you and every opposing falsetto here. The false labels are falling away, and the world is about to meet the real you. You are not forgotten, not invisible, not finished. You are named, known, and needed right here, right now, for this very hour. Chosen one, feel this moment as the flame within you stirs. For too long you've been told these are your sunset years that your dreams have set, your voice has dimmed, and all that's left is to remember what once was. But that's not heaven's story. You are not the fading sun, you are the sunrise after the longest night. The fire inside you never died. It smoldered under the ashes of disappointment, pulsed beneath the grief, and waited faithfully, fiercely through every season you called the end. But the divine has been tending this flame, protecting it, waiting for the moment it would blaze anew. That moment is now. Every single thing you survived was not just for you. The embers of your endurance are a beacon to the world. You lived through heartbreak and did not let it harden you. You endured loss and learned a depth of love no book could teach. You stood when others sat down, kept moving when others gave up, and believed when belief was costly. The world thinks wisdom comes easy with age, but only those who have been through the fire know how to carry it with humility, how to share it with grace. Let's shatter the myth that you're running out of time. Moses was 80 when his true story began. Anna was 84 when she saw the promise fulfilled. Caleb claimed his greatest mountain at 85. Joshua led the people to victory in his 70s. Even John, exiled and seemingly alone in his 90s, received visions that would change the course of eternity. In God's economy, there is no too late, only right on time. The world needs your wisdom, your experience, your fire now more than ever. This isn't just about your own transformation. When your inner flame is rekindled, everything around you shifts. Your family feels it, your neighborhood notices it. Your prayers start to carry the force of 1,000 sermons. When you step out of the ashes, you become a living sign that it's never too late for resurrection, never too late for hope. You show the doubters, the wounded, the lost, that God's promises don't expire. You are the proof. So what does it look like, this rekindling of fire? It means standing up physically or in spirit and declaring, "The fire lives in me, and it's not done burning." It means saying yes to opportunities you once dismissed. It means offering wisdom where you once held back, praying boldly for healing, stepping up to mentor a generation that's lost in a storm of confusion. It means becoming a lighthouse, a living torch, not just for your sake, but for all who watch and wonder if the flame in them can ever come alive again. Right now, the world is groaning for real examples of endurance, of faith that didn't crack under pressure, of hope that outlasted heartbreak. Your greatest chapter is not behind you, it's ahead. The Spirit is breathing on the coals, fanning them into a blaze that no one can ignore. The word for your life now is ignite. Let the 1st of July be the day you mark as the turning point, the moment your story flipped from waiting to winning, from fading to flaming. Your assignment is not finished. Your greatest impact is only beginning. The world has seen enough of the quick and the careless. Now it is time for the enduring, the rooted, the truly alive to take their place. You are not here to merely survive, but to set your world ablaze. The next chapter isn't a slow fad, it's a wildfire. You are the sunrise, not the sunset. Rise up, rekindle, burn bright. The time is now. Chosen one, the hour of awakening is upon you, and with it comes your mission urgent, sacred, and entirely unique to you. This is not a call for mere personal revival. It's a summons for world-changing action. When you finally step into your assignment, the ripple effects reach far beyond your own life. Like Lazarus being called forth from the tomb, you are being summoned to rise and shake off every shroud of resignation, doubt, and delay. This is the moment you stop just existing and start transforming your world. You may feel small, insignificant, or even disqualified, but the kingdom does not operate by human logic. Remember, the God who called Moses from obscurity, who handed Anna her greatest moment in her 80s, who entrusted Abraham with nations when he thought his body was spent, this God delights in impossible turnarounds. Heaven waits for you not to blend in, but to stand out. Your story is not just about your victory, but about the breakthroughs you spark in those around you. When you awaken, you lift others. When you speak, you heal generations. Look at your family, maybe. They don't listen now. Maybe they roll their eyes or dismiss your faith. But don't underestimate the shift your awakening will create. When you walk in new fire, the hard-hearted soften. When you love without fear, the wounded draw near. When you share your hard-won wisdom, chains begin to break in others. There are neighbors living in quiet agony who need your testimony of survival. There are young people desperate for anchors. In a world of chaos, your faith is their map out of darkness. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being available. You don't need a stage, a microphone, or a title. You need a willing heart and an open mouth. Your living room becomes a sanctuary. Your simple prayers become catalysts for change. When you say yes, heaven backs you with its full authority. You are not just a recipient of grace, you are a distributor. God's light moves through you into the cracks and corners of the world that would otherwise remain cold and unhealed. Remember, this mission is generational. The decisions you make today, the courage you show, the prayers you speak, they reverberate far beyond your own lifetime. Your grandchildren may not yet know the cost of your faith, but they will inherit the fruit. Your community may not recognize the force of your love, but they will feel the shift in atmosphere. Every step you take in obedience, every time you refuse to give in to despair, you expand the territory of hope for others. The enemy has worked overtime to make you believe you are powerless, to convince you your words and presence don't matter. But the truth is, when you walk in your assignment, you become a threat to every stronghold of darkness. The voice that once trembled now topples lies. The hands that once felt weak now heal and bless. The heart that once questioned its worth now beats with divine purpose. Chosen one, your resurrection is not just for you, it's for the world. When you come forth, as Jesus called Lazarus, you become living evidence that God is still raising the seemingly dead, still bringing hope where hope was lost. Let the 1st of July be more than a date. Let it be your public declaration. I accept the mission. I choose to walk in my calling. Don't delay. Don't wait for another sign. This is it. As you rise, watch your world begin to shift. One heart, one home, one miracle at a time. Chosen one, breathe deeply. The culmination of your journey is here. This is the sacred seal on your transformation, the moment when heaven's affirmation, a holy blessing, and a powerful charge all converge. The 1st of July is not just a day to remember. It is your divine confirmation, your invitation to cross the threshold and never look back. Let these words anchor you for what's coming. Your waiting has not been wasted. Your pain has not been pointless. Your fire, tested and refined, is about to ignite everything around you. Feel this. Heaven is leaning in. Angels are celebrating your decision. The cloud of witnesses, the saints, your ancestors, those who've gone before, are cheering as you stand up in your true identity. The divine has declared over you, you are not too old, you are not too late, you are not forgotten, you are my chosen, my beloved, my unstoppable vessel of breakthrough. Let every lie fall away now. Let every false name, every shroud of unworthiness, every fear of being finished, be burned away by the fire of divine truth. You are exactly who this generation needs, and your moment is now. As you step into this new chapter, speak these affirmations over your life. I am called for this hour. I am equipped for this mission. My voice is needed. My scars are my credentials. My age is my authority. My wisdom is my inheritance. And my presence is the evidence that God keeps his promises. The world may not always understand your journey, but heaven knows the cost, the endurance, and the faith it took to stand here today. This is your commissioning. Here is your divine blessing. May you walk every day with the certainty that you are seen and celebrated by the Creator. May you feel the pulse of heaven in your spirit, giving you strength when you're weary, vision when you're uncertain, and peace that surpasses all understanding. May your hands heal, your words ignite, your prayers break chains, and your love awaken the hearts of those around you. You are not alone. This spiritual family stands with you, rising together, blessing each other, marching forward as the unstoppable remnant. Chosen one, the final twist is this. The mission that awaits you is not smaller than your past, it's greater. The 1st of July isn't the end of your story. It is the explosive beginning of your greatest chapter. Right now, commit in your heart, no matter your age, your history, your scars. I accept the mission. I will shine. I will speak. I will love. I will finish strong. There is a miracle waiting on the other side of your yes. So as you go forth, remember this. The divine shift is now. The door is open. The anointing is flowing. The world is about to see what happens when the chosen ones awaken. Leave no doubt in heaven or on earth. Your best days are just beginning, and your fire will light the path for generations to come. If this message has stirred your spirit, share one word below that captures what you felt at this community surround you in prayer and celebration. Share this with someone who needs a miracle moment. Subscribe, connect, and never walk alone again. The mission stands, and so do you. God bless you mightily. Go forth and blaze.